A great famine had come over all the earth. There wasn't enough food for people to eat, except in Egypt, where Joseph had stored up plenty. Joseph's family had heard that food was being sold in Egypt, so Jacob sent 10 of his sons to go and buy some. All Joseph's brothers went apart from Benjamin, the youngest one. When they arrived in Egypt, they bowed down before Joseph and didn't recognize who he was. But Joseph recognized them and decided to test them. He said, "You are all spies." The brothers said, "We are not. We are all from the same family, the sons of one man, and have come here to buy food. There were 12 of us brothers altogether, but one is at home with our father, and one is no more." Joseph pretended not to believe them and said they needed to go home and bring back their younger brother to show that their story was true. He put them all in prison for 3 days and then came and spoke to them again. "One of you must stay here," he said, "while the rest of you go home with some food and then return with your brother." The brothers talked to each other and remembered what they'd done to Joseph long ago. They thought this trouble they were facing now was a punishment for what they had done. Joseph heard them saying all this. In the end, Simeon, the second oldest brother, stayed behind, and the rest of them returned to the land of Canaan. On the way, one of them opened his sack and found that all the money for buying the food was still inside it. They were worried that the great ruler would think they had stolen it back. They told their father Jacob all that had happened, but he didn't want to send Benjamin to Egypt. He'd already lost Joseph. He was afraid he might lose Benjamin too. But when their food started running out again, Judah spoke to his father. He promised that he would look after Benjamin if they went back. "I'll take the blame if he doesn't come back," he said. Then Jacob let them go and gave them presents to take to the great ruler. So off they all went, including Benjamin, and Joseph invited them into his house. When he saw Benjamin, he was so delighted to see him, he rushed out into another room to cry. Then he told his servants to serve them some food. Joseph arranged for his brothers to sit in order of age, from the oldest to the youngest, and they were amazed that he knew the right order. And Benjamin was served 5 times as much as anybody else. This story shows us that God's plans always work out. Joseph had dreamed that his brothers would one day bow down to him, and now it had all come true. And we see that God changes people. The brothers now felt bad about what they'd done to Joseph, and Judah wanted to protect Benjamin. And the story continues to point ahead to Jesus. Joseph saved the world from a great famine, and Jesus saves the world from an even bigger problem, our sin.